storyline to still remember Bleach Rebirth for Souls. It's been a minute since I've gone ahead and played this game. I've overall just lacked reason to play it, but we might have the reason now because we have our first DLC character dropping really soon, actually. That being true Shikai Ichigo. Okay, so here we go. Our first DLC character, first 1000-year Blood War character. We're going through all the Zanpakuto names. Oh, okay, that's good. It feels so weird seeing Blood War characters that aren't in Brave Souls, you know? Oh, the Jujisho! Yeah, that's gonna be a crazy Kiko move. Damn!
Is my power right now. I'll never stop again.
Damn! What? Yo! What is that? Mad! We get to play it tomorrow? What the hell? That's insane. If you bought the early access. Man. Oh, that looks cool. And again, we already know all 4 characters. I'll have something to say in a minute. I might go on a little rant. But we also have rank coming out later today. I think for me in UK time, that's tomorrow. But hey, that's all I needed. Maybe I needed a bit more, but I kind of needed that to play Rebirth of Souls, I'll be honest. All right, so let's rewind it and talk about our first DLC for Bleach Rebirth of Souls. So if it's coming up tomorrow for early access, does that mean we get to see the full moveset of the character starting tomorrow? Maybe even later tonight, I guess, maybe. I'm not too sure. I feel like maybe this should have been posted like a week ago, so you had some time to know, right? While it is cool to a certain extent that we're getting the character released tomorrow, it does feel like there's kind of no lead up to it, but I'm kind of okay with it. So let me do a little quick rant.
I'll demonstrate.
If you lads don't mind. So I think personally, this might have been the worst first DLC character that Rebirth of Souls could have gotten. That might be a hot take, but I just don't think we need another Ichigo right now. Now, I'm not going to be one to complain about Ichigo having 4 playable characters. It's expected. I'm fine with Ichigo being a DLC character. I feel like he would have worked best as the final DLC character because we already have Ichigo playable 3 different times. We already know who the other 3 Blood War characters are coming in part of the Season Pass. And one of them we've already played on the channel because you can actually mod her in-game right now. And with that, you know, it looked like she was almost finished. We're talking about Unohana. I feel like maybe it would have made sense more so for Unohana to be the first DLC character over Ichigo, for example. Because right now it's like, you know, it's a new character. It's our first Blood War character. In a way, I can see why they chose Ichigo first. He's the main character, you know. But, you know, considering the other 3 DLC characters that have been data mined / leaked, we know who they are. They're all 3 original characters that aren't currently playable in-game right now. Whereas Ichigo, despite him being new, it's, you know, essentially just another Ichigo. But it's a cool Ichigo too because, hey, I like True Shikai. I would have loved if we got 4-ring Ichigo, but I'm not complaining about it. But this looks sick. That is sick. I really like the animation for that. And you can tell it's inspired by how the anime did it. To be fair, the manga does it too. But in terms of the camera angles, the charge up, close up on the blade, charging it up, the yellow aura too, right? That's one thing that Jump Force did. It was blue and red. I like both, to be fair, but that's a really good close up. And then you also get a stomp. Look at that stomp. It's just a stomp, but hold on. Like, that had power to it. That had weight behind it.
True power.
And if this is his soundtrack, by the way,
Let's go.
it sounds good. I'm liking it. So this will likely be his base keycon animation. That just takes 2 Compactu, right? But he actually... Now, this is crazy.
Is my power right now.
Oh, the soundtrack is really good, by the way.
I'll never stop.
This might be like top 3 soundtracks. How we getting Honor Salvation? Nah. See, part of me, as a Bleach fan, is excited for this. Because we're seeing it before the anime. But at the same time, another part of me is like, damn, this is a spoiler towards anime onlys. Now, I know there's been already a lot of topic about that online, whether this is a good or bad thing in terms of being a spoiler, right? I feel like, again, more reason to make this character the 4th DLC character, right? Because this is a spoiler. It is a spoiler. Now, I know. I'm someone that's played both games. Jump Force and also Brave Souls have these characters. Brave Souls has more than what this character is showing. But, like... Jump Force isn't even playable anymore. It's basically just shut down. And then for Brave Souls, I mean, these characters are super old. They don't use them in promotion anymore, and you can rarely ever pull them. At least nowadays. So, like, if you were a new generation Bleach fan that stayed in anime only, which I understand why you would, considering the fact that we are getting a lot of original content, there's no reason to read the manga at this point, in my opinion. At least the final arc. At least while the anime is airing. You're very unlikely to come across, you know, true Shikai Ichigo with the Grand Racero, the Hornet Salvation form, in Brave Souls, or maybe even Jump Force, because again, that game shut down. So I don't dislike that they actually ended up putting this in the game. I just feel like, again, maybe he should have been the 4th DLC character. Right now. But, I'm a Bleach fanboy. This is hype! This is hype! What do you mean we're seeing it? And that's actually kind of cool, so... I don't think it was like that in the manga. We know the blade goes white. We can actually see the blood. I can't remember if it was like that. I feel like it was just full on white. But I think this here is a nice touch. Seeing the Quincy side of it, his powers, you know? Was this always orange? I don't think so, but I guess it makes sense. One's white, one's Zangetsu, right? I think that's the thought process behind it. So we can see during the Blade is Me, for example, one of the blade is like white/blue racy aura, and then the other one is orange/reds. So having him do that here, I think is a really nice touch.
Is my power right?
But man, the violin on his soundtrack is insane.
I'll never stop again.
And then again, Hollow Salvation, it's one of my favorite forms. I love full Hollow Ichigo in general. So again, seeing this in game, I can't complain about it, but I do feel a bit bad for the anime onlys that have done a decent job avoiding spoilers, because right now, you're kind of getting spoiled. If they saved him for the final DLC unit,
I feel the power. Get to the...
Man, you know, that would have been maybe better.
I feel the...
But this is cool. In a way, is this like a tease to how the anime is going to do it? I don't remember Ichigo doing that. He stabs the blade in the sky and creates like a rift. And that's how he does the Grand Racero? That's sick. I don't remember him doing that. Then again, it's been a while. Maybe my only memory of this character is the Brace or some animation. Now,
I'll never stop again.
The voice acting.
I feel the power.
It says Getsuga Tensho. To be fair, hold on. You know, maybe that's not bad. He does say Grand Racero, right? In the manga. So one of my problems with this character that came out like at this point 6-7 years ago, right? Is so very similar. We don't actually see the blade go orange in this version. He definitely doesn't stick the blade in the sky. So I definitely do prefer a potential new route with that, if that's how they're doing it in the anime too. Maybe they did in the manga. Maybe I'm just forgetting it again. I haven't read that particular part in quite a while. But my problem with this animation and attack is he never says Grand Racero. So it lacks impact. You know? He just screams. It lacks impact. I would have loved if we said Grand Racero. That was honestly quite my only problem with this potential form in how Bracelet adapted it. It lacked an impact, it lacked weight, and if for some reason he was to say Getsuga Tensho when doing this, I'm kind of fine with it because it still sounds cool. But then maybe, I think that would be the voice line. He would say Getsuga Tensho. So are we just calling Grand Racero Getsuga Tensho? I'm fine with it if that's the case. Because at least it sounds cool when he does it, you know. That's something the Brave Souls version lacks. But, yeah, man, I'm super excited. I'm down to start playing this game again. I haven't played in over a month. I think the game lacked ranked, it lacked content, it lacked just new characters for me to play with. This is definitely going to get me back into the game. Would have preferred if Ichigo was the final DLC character. You know, maybe they could have potentially released him alongside the other power-up that he gets during this part. And maybe they could have released that during the moment this happens in the anime. Then again, we don't know how long that is going to be until we see it animated in-game. Maybe in a way this can just be seen as promotion leading up to the final arc, so you can look at it like that. Regardless, because I'm a manga reader, I don't care that much about spoilers, but I do feel bad for maybe those that have been spoiled. My brother is one of them, right? I also just like seeing cool Bleach fingers. This is hard. This is sick. You won't see me complain after I get, you know, which we're potentially playing tomorrow. Soundtrack looks sick. Animations look cool. Johnny Young Bosch coming through with the voice acting talent. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. You get to play him tomorrow. Tomorrow, if you own the early access, and the 17th of June if you just buy the character normally, right? If you don't have the season pass. And again, there's 3 more season pass characters. Also looking forward to those characters, equally as hyped for them as I am Ichigo. Maybe I'll be a bit more excited for them because they will be fully new in game. You know, voice acting. model, etc. We hadn't seen them before in game besides, you know, base Retsu essentially. But this graphic also looks pretty cool too. I'm liking the artwork. And also, even if you don't have the DLC, starting today, I guess, or later today, maybe for me more so in the morning on the 10th, we are getting a ranked match finally after like 2-3 months. They definitely dropped the ball a bit on how this game was handled post-launch, right? I feel like this rank should have been implemented earlier, but, you know, it is what it is. At the very least, we're getting a really cool character here
I'll demonstrate.
with true Shikai Ichigo.
Let's go.
We'll do one more watch. Because again, it's just cool. It's always cool seeing Blood War stuff like this, right?
Bring it on.
Especially outside of BBS, because we're used to that.
This is my power
We've had that
right
for like
now.
7 years. Jump Pulse was cool, but,
Again.
you know, this is much cooler. This is much cooler. And I can't believe we get to play as full holo. I mean, Horn of Salvation, that is so crazy. So crazy. So if you are excited as I am for this character, let me know how you like the first character in the comments below. And I'll see you lads next time. Take care and peace.